And we're live. All right, we're back. It's season 2. I suppose if you're listening to this, you're still subscribed. That's very nice of you. Same RSS feed. People probably don't know what that means. It just means you don't have to subscribe again if you're already a subscriber here. We're back. Episode 1 of season 2. New name of the show. Core 4 Sports. This is Boston. Hopefully, Core 4 Sports will be expanding soon. Who knows? But for now, we're in Boston. This season, hopefully, it's going to be a good ride. I don't know. Whatever. We're already starting off hot. It's going to be sponsored by Brugger's. They're not giving me any money to say this. I just love their cheddar jalapeno bagels toasted with jalapeno cream cheese. If they want to give me some money or some free bagels, anybody listening to this from Brugger's, just hit me up. Instagram. Designs by Ram. Spelt how it sounds. You know the drill. But we're also on Core 4 Sports Boston. So, we're back. Like I said, I didn't have a direction as much on the last show, or the last season, which was Adam Speaks. We're now Core 4 Sports Boston. Maybe I'll just go Core 4 Sports. We'll see. This, obviously, with it being Core 4 Sports Boston, we're more or less going to be only talking about Boston sports. It was mainly NBA, kind of a mixture of stuff. I don't know. I was just testing it out. We made it 50 episodes. 54 episodes. I started erasing some of the episodes, but you know what? I'm gonna go start from backwards. So if you want to go back over the summer and listen to, I think episode 12 is still up there. If you want to listen to that one's still there. But I'm going to be erasing them going from the backwards once I start getting more episodes up on here. We could get right into it, I guess. We're going to be talking about Boston sports. We're going to be on talking about the Patriots, talking about the Bruins, talking about the Sox, talking about the Celtics. Patriots, big win over the juggernaut and the Titans. This week they'll be going up against the Jags. Blake Bortles. Barstool was saying it was the boat versus the goat. I'm not sure what... I think boat is best of all time. That must be a Barstool joke that I missed, but that's the joke there. We're going to see... you obviously, at this point, if you're a sports fan and you're presumably listening to this podcast right now, you've seen what happened in Minnesota with Marcus Williams, maybe. He just missed the tackle. Just totally just whiffed. No one knows what happened. I don't think anyone will ever know. He's never going to admit exactly what he was doing or how he missed that tackle or why he missed the tackle. It's unfortunate for him, but he has apparently he has a bright future. I don't know. I don't follow the Saints very often, so maybe someone that follows the Saints a little more can let me know if Marcus Williams is any good. He's a starting corner in a team that was in the last 8 teams, so I'm assuming he was decent. You look at the 4 quarterbacks. Everyone, this is a quarterback-driven league. And then you look at the final 4 teams, and 3 out of the last 4 are not great. So, the NFL it's almost as predictable as the NBA. I think this year in the NBA has been a little bit less predictable. But at the same time, I almost feel like the storyline that's going on in Cleveland is exactly the same storyline that goes on with the Patriots every year, where people say, oh, Brady's washed up, he's old, he's not good anymore. And then he's just in his... Which, until Brady doesn't make an AFC Championship game, I think people are just not allowed to say that. I'm going to make a rule People aren't allowed to say that. So everyone out there, stop saying it. Because I said so. Because he's made 7 straight AFC Championship games. And almost every single season, he started off a little bit slow. And now, like I said, we have Cleveland, who just is not, I don't know what's going on there. I think it's a bunch of players that are, it's a mixture of veterans. It's mostly veterans. It's mostly veterans and LeBron, and then Isaiah, and Jay Crowder. And some of them aren't even, I wouldn't even consider some of them veterans. I would consider some of them career role players. And people are wondering why they're struggling. Okay, but we're not talking about Cleveland here. We're talking about the Celtics. They're back. They're back from London. They'll be playing New Orleans tonight. Whatever team Rondo is on. New Orleans. Should be a decent matchup. New Orleans they've got Anthony Davis, they've got Boogie Cousins, and Rondo. Decent. All Kentucky guys? Did Rondo go to Kentucky? Yeah. But Anthony Davis and Boogie Cousins, they both went to Kentucky. Drew Holiday still in New Orleans. I think no matter what team Drew Holiday will be on, I think I'll always just think he's on New Orleans. So he may be on New Orleans, and that's why I think he'll always be on New Orleans, because he is. But regardless, the Celtics, this is the first podcast that I've recorded maybe since I don't remember. I think that the last season ended in September. So if we're talking this new season, it may have been the last time that I recorded the podcast was before Kyrie Irving was on the team. It was obviously before the unfortunate injury of Gordon Hayward, which doesn't seem super unfortunate. It almost seems like they didn't need to sign Hayward, which is weird because you're saying that they have all this money and they don't need to sign good players, but at the same time, they've got a decent amount of good players on the team that are the bird rights, I think. I know now they have Kyrie. If they want to sign Kyrie, they can sign him to whatever contract they want if Wick is willing to fork up some extra cash. That would be nice to see Kyrie in a Celtics. I think it's also interesting. Maybe it was just because I didn't follow Kyrie as much. It seems like he's a pretty... he's a woke player. I think that's an internet term. So he is woke. No, he's woke. He just and that may just be a internet term for he seems very spiritual and very spiritual and I don't know, woke, whatever. Anybody that knows what woke means, you know what I mean. But has he always been like this? And it might have been, he did start seeing that priest, the priest from Justin Bieber's priest. So that might have something to do with it. But we'll see. Hopefully Kyrie stays alive for a while. I think he will. I think he likes it here. I think the core is, they've got 2 rookies that are borderline stars already. They can dunk. Let's just put it at that. At least they can dunk. I feel like the last player that we had that was a dunker on the Celtics was, Gerald Green last year, but then before that, we're talking Jeff Green, maybe? And Jeff Green is not very good. He usually has a dunk every game that's pretty good, and people will be like, oh my god, he dunked it. Did you see that? It's like, yeah, I saw. I also saw the 10 open jump shots that he missed. So, unfortunate. No, fortunate for the Celtics because they have players that are good. They have good players, finally. It's like these last 2 years, they had players that were, B+ maybe? Isaiah Thomas, decent. Jay Crowder, not very great. and they were, oh, well, we'll compete. We'll compete with the Cavs. It'll be fine. They've just got the best player in the world, and then they've got Kyrie, who's, in my opinion, probably the best point guard in the Eastern Conference. Best point guard in the Eastern Conference. I'll say that. You got Steph Curry and you got Russell Westbrook out in the West. They're both pretty good. Another Boston trade that has not panned out is the Tyler Seguin. This was years ago on the infamous day of July 4th in, 2014 maybe, July 4th. And last night, he made his return. Bruins were down 2. They came back. They went to overtime. Seguin just dangled all over the defense and scored. Man, Peter Chiarelli made some terrible decisions as the GM for this team. Made some terrible decisions. Is in Edmonton now. I think he's the GM there. Or maybe it is Peter Chiarelli is the coach. I don't know, whatever. Peter Chiarelli, not good. Made some terrible trades, terrible signings. Really did not leave this team in a good place, but I'd say they're in a pretty decent place now. They've got some young players on offense and defense who can score. They'll need to figure out the cap situation, I suppose. Krejci. They got to figure. They're doing pretty well this year, so we'll see if they're making the playoffs or not. I think no, they're going to make the playoffs for the first. Maybe not. Did they make the playoffs last year? I don't think they made the playoffs last year. No, I don't think they did. They have just had some terrible seasons the past few years, so we'll see. This year, I think they're going to be making the playoffs. Hot take. Bruins will probably make the playoffs. So that's going to be it for episode 1. I think, trying to remember how I said it last time. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. They're all designed by Ram and Core 4 Sports are the main 2 platforms you want to follow me on. Brugger's, if you want to shout me out some bagels, some cheddar jalapeno bagels, jalapeno cream cheese. Those bagels are fire. Just hit me up. If you're listening to this, thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate it for not unsubscribing, even though I've been gone since September. It's only 4, 5, 6 months. So we're back, everyone. That's it. See you tomorrow.